So we've done the preemptory stuff, some refreshers so that we can understand scatter. All right. Why are we not? All right, so temperature. When we're looking at temperatures, you can see there that line, that purple line there, indicates that there is a positive linear correlation. Okay, which means that as the temperature increases, the number of Slurpees sold increases. So the warmer it is outside, the bigger the sales of Slurpees are. So make sure you're writing this down. So there's definitely an increase. There is a positive linear correlation. It looks, you're not touching all those points, but you can see a trend that is going upward. Up means positive. So the next one, the age of the car, what do you guys think? What does that look like? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it? So that would make it a positive or negative. And you can probably put a line in there that tells you pretty much if it's going to be a linear correlation, right? So it kind of looks like it's going downward. So we would call that a negative linear correlation. So as the car age increases, the value decreases. And yes, there's sometimes you see that one little outside spot there. That one there. That's what we call an outlier. Because every once in a while, you have this car, like maybe a 1964 Stingray Corvette, whose value would increase dramatically the older it gets, especially if it's in mint condition. There's been people who buy cars, put them in the garage, and never drive them. Okay, so the value of that car is going to increase significantly. You're going to have some outliers. That's what that one is out there. But for the most part, you buy a car brand new and it costs 40 grand. You drive it off the lot, you just lost $2,000. You drive it for a year, you lost another $2,000. And that value continues to decrease every year. Would you like to add something, Dominic? You had a question, Saul? No. All right. So let's look at this next one. Number of shoes. Is there a line that goes, is it a negative? Does it look like it's going down? Does it look like it's going up? So there's no real correlation. Okay? This is the true scatter plot. Okay? Now the next one, the number of days of sick and your body temperature. This is an interesting one. If you look at the line, it dips and then it goes up, right? So essentially, there's a nonlinear correlation. It's not a straight line. It's a curve. Okay? So that's still a correlation, but it's just nonlinear. So that would say as the number of days sick increases, the body temperature decreases. Sorry. All right, you guys need some time to copy this? Yes? Verbalize? Yes. We're going to pause here and let you guys copy what you need to. All right, so as the number of days increases, the body temperature decreases, and then it increases again. All right, so here are some examples. Let's look at that picture there. Do you see this, the graph? Is there a relationship between the data? You have 4 different choices. You just wrote them down. If you could say, pick one, what would the relationship be? Talk to your partners? You just talk to them. Is there a relationship? You can talk to them too. Actually, why don't you go sit next to Jasmine? Angel, what is the relationship? Positive linear. Does everybody agree that it's a positive linear relationship? You don't agree? Nathan, why not? Okay, but the relationship between most of those points, would you say that it's positive and linear? Yeah, okay. Now B says write a sentence to describe the relationship. So you would write what? What would you write, Clarissa? Would you write a relationship? What is a relationship? Okay, so we're talking about television inches in size and price in dollars. So what would the relationship be? The bigger the TV screen, the what? The more expensive, or the more it costs. So you should be writing down A, B, and C on your notes. Is there an outlier? What's the outlier? Well, that's still part of that. That would still be in my range, right? So if I did a line of best fit, which we're going to talk about in a bit, the 70 inch, right? So the 70 inch is an outlier. All right. So go ahead and write A, B, and C. Identify the relationship. We said the relationship was what? Positive linear. Write what's the sentence we're writing? As the size increases, the price also increases, and you do have an outlier. Okay, so go ahead and write this down. All right, so here's another scenario. Number of traffic cams and number of cars running red lights. So you're going to graph the data, identify the relationship, and then write a sentence to describe the relationship. So go ahead and draw yourself a graph like the one that just came up and label it like this. Okay, so let's add some data. What kind of relationship? So negative linear. So write that down, negative linear. Negative linear correlation. So number of cars running red lights does what when the number of traffic cams does what? Tell your partners. Look at the relationship. What is a sentence that you can write? Talk to your partner about it. So Saul, what did you and Kevin decide was the sentence that would describe the relationship?
We discussed that it's a negative linear.
Yeah, we already identified the relationship.
We started off by that. Kevin, what did you say? Yeah.
I didn't hear. What? You're supposed to write a sentence to describe the relationship. What did you come up with? So look at the information in front of you. What would you say it is? Talk about the number of traffic cams and the number of cars running red lights. What's difficult here? Huh? What does this tell you here, this side part? What does it say? So let's say where they meet is 0. So how many cars are running a red light when there are 0 traffic cams? A lot or a little bit? A lot. Okay, so as the number of traffic cams increases, X going to the right, how many are the number of cars running red lights increasing or decreasing? All right, so Christian, give me a good sentence. Perfect. exactly what I had written down. Okay, so did anybody else find that relationship in that sentence? You guys got that? Okay, so it's really not that difficult to read a graph. Okay, you just have to understand what the X and Y are telling you and then come up with the answer. All right, so you should have this written down. Any questions so far? Great. I'm going to go ahead and pass out the copy of the page you're doing for homework, and you can start your homework now.